Do you know there is a time of day that contains the greatest spiritual blessings? Do you know that there is a moment where you can renew yourself spiritually, energetically, emotionally, mentally, and even physically? But that most people don't take advantage of this moment simply because they are asleep? Influential figures such as King David left their legacy in this time of day. The book of Psalms, which has been used by billions of people to connect with God in the most difficult times or in the best times, has been created at this moment, that is, coming out of the inspiration and light that a moment like this contains. And King David revealed this to us in the Psalms itself. But before talking to you about what time this is and how can you take advantage of it, I would also like to explain to you the reason why this time is so special. So I usually don't say this, but today in this video, I am going to say it. If you want to adopt a habit that will transform your life completely, this is it. Get up and be awake at this time of day. The Alot HaShachar, the rise of the morning or the rise of dawn. We'll see what time this is exactly and how you can calculate it. So join me until the end of the video, where I also have some practical advice on what you can do right now. But before we start, I would like to tell you that 70% of the people who enjoy our videos are not subscribed to our channel. We have a challenge, and that is that at the end of this year, 2024, we can reach 1 million subscribers. So please, it doesn't cost anything. Subscribe button if you're not yet subscribed, and share and invite more people to this community where we will receive many growth tips, personal and spiritual growth, that can guide you to a better life and a higher connection with the Creator. Let's go there. We have evidence that King David got up before the sun rose. In Psalm 119, King David writes in 2 verses, 147 and 148, the following: Kidamti banefesh ba'ashavea, meaning, I rose before dawn and will cry for help. Lidvarecha ichalti,
meaning, I waited for your word.
It was a moment of reflection where King David cried out and was also waiting for inspiration from above. When? Before dawn. And it also says in the next one, in 148, meaning, my eyes came forward before the night watches. Lasiach beimbratecha, meaning, to speak, to meditate on your sayings, that is, on divine words, on the divine will over the world and over our lives. A moment of reflection and meditation. When? Before the sun rises, before dawn. Not at dawn, before dawn. And this is made clearer than ever by King David in Psalm 57 verse 9, where he says to his soul, Ura kevodi, ura, that is, awaken my soul, called as kevodi, my honor, my soul, wake up, hanevel bechinor aira shachar. With harp and psaltery, he says, I will wake up the morning. The translations translate it wrong, and they say something like, I will wake up in the morning. But it doesn't say, I will get up in the morning, or I will wake up in the morning. He says, I am the one who will wake the morning up. Our sages interpreted it in the following way. It's not that the morning is going to wake me up to start my day. I am the one who will raise the dawn through my prayers. And this is a change of worldview, of perspective, and an elevation of awareness, because I am not a reactive person. I don't start my day reacting to the natural world. The sun comes out, the light makes me have less melatonin, and I wake up. I am reactive? No. I am not reactive. I anticipate the sunrise in order to take advantage of this moment where the light begins, and I am one of those who are active people. People who anticipate important events and not one of those who simply react to them. You can have two levels of consciousness in life, either co-creator, one who controls his reality and is allied with the creator, associated with the creator to make a better world. These are active people. They are people of action, or being a reactive person. Victims are reactive. It was done to me, it was told to me, it has happened to me. Yeah? And what do? You react to it. Yeah? Obviously, he who goes ahead and thinks about what is going to happen will always be more successful than the one who, when something happened to him and after what happened, he reacts in the first way that comes out. So the wise men of Kabbalah say that everything comes after the beginning. That is, everything follows its beginning. If the beginning was good, the continuation will be good. If the beginning was bad, it is already very difficult to change the course of things. However, if from the first moment of the day, when the dawn rises, you are no longer reacting to the day, but being co-creator of your day, planning your day, thinking about your reason for existing, why the Creator has gifted you another day, with feelings of gratitude that He has given you one more day, everything is going to change. This became the first law of the most important book of conduct in the Jewish tradition, also known as Shulchan Aruch, or served table, where it says, "Be you the one who wakes up the dawn, and let it not be the dawn that wakes you up." Just as King David wrote in Psalm 57, "As we have said, I wake up the dawn, and the dawn does not wake me up." But we must understand, why is this time so special? What makes this moment special? The first thing we have to know is that this time is the darkest of the night. Darkness took over the night until the deepest moment, and now there is a change, and the light begins to awaken. When the light begins to awaken, this is also something at the spiritual level. Something spiritually positive begins to awaken over the darkness. Darkness is the force that we call din, judgment, the negative forces. However, positive forces are now beginning to awaken, and they are going to somehow conquer the darkness and make it disappear forever. That is why we also talk about the redemptive forces of this time, that the light of the Mashiach shines bright at this moment, and I will explain why later. But before that, let's see the first place where this time appears in the Bible, and that is when the patriarch Jacob, in chapter 32 verse 25, confronts an angel. It is said there that a man fought with him until the sunrise. What does it say there? It says, Alot HaShachar, the rise of the morning. Alot HaShachar. And it is that Shahar, morning, dawn, is called like that because it comes from the word Shachor, which means black. Morning, dawn, is called like that because it comes from the word Shachor, which means black. Because the time when it is the darkest, now the darkness begins to rise and disappear. It is the time where the darkness begins to lose. When darkness thinks it already has everything conquered, there is something that says no. There is a force that says no. Darkness will never win. The light will always come out and shine above everything. And this is that moment. That's why Bala Hasulam said that in this time of day, Alot HaShach shines the light of the Mashiach. And why was this time so important? Because the angel said to Jacob, "No, don't continue holding me. I have to go. I have to disappear." And why? What do you have to do? The sages say, "I have to go sing the morning song with the angels," meaning there are spiritual forces, positive energies that awaken in the world at this time and connect with the Creator. And that's what you have to do. If you want to be aligned with the positive forces of creation, if you want to be aligned with the higher worlds, you also need to be awake at this moment. And the angel had to leave, and in that very moment he gave the blessing to Jacob and called him Israel. And there is a change of identity in Jacob. You are no longer Jacob, the one who had to take the blessing, but you are Israel. Yaakov comes from something twisted, because Akev, which is the heel, is when it twists. And also, Leakev is when you get ahead someone like that, in this circular movement and not straight, while Israel comes from Yashar, comes from something straight. That is to say, there is a change of identity within us at this time of the day, if we use it to meditate, to transform, to change. Later, we will see what exactly we need to do. But why is this time the light of the Mashiach? Because the sages explain to us, well, the biblical text declares to us that this time was the moment of the redemption of the children of Israel to come out of Egypt. When it seemed that all was lost, when it seemed that there was no more hope, this was the moment that changed everything. The text explains to us in the book of Exodus that at midnight there was the last of the 10 plagues, of the 10 blows, which was the death of the firstborns, where the children of Israel made a sacrifice, Korban Pesach, the Passover sacrifice, and they put the blood on their houses' lintels, and then they left Egypt, but at some point they got caught up on their way out. They had the Red Sea, the Sea of Reeds in front of them, the Egyptians behind them trying to chase after them, and the desert on the sides. They had nowhere to escape to. And the Torah says there in chapter 14, verse 24, Vayi b'ashmurot haboker. And it was in the morning vigils. We are in the time, this is the time, in Alot HaShachar, when the sun begins to rise. There, it is said that God observed the camp of Egypt and decided to put an end to evil, an end to persecution, and a new birth for Israel. Why a new birth? Because they precisely entered the waters. It's like entering the womb, a narrow place. Yes, Mitzrayim. Mitzrayim means Egypt, coming from the word Metzarim, narrowness. The waters broke. It is a sign of birth, and they came out with a new identity, not slaves anymore, now free people. Again, no longer Jacob, now Israel, no longer slaves, now free. This time of day represents the most important time for renewal and change. Furthermore, also on the astrological level, it is said that this moment is called Ayelet HaShachar. Just like in Psalm 22, it is written that it is the psalm of Ayelet HaShachar, the morning star. Venus shines a little before the sun rises in the sky, and in Hebrew, this planet Venus is called Noga. Noga is radiance. Why? Because there is a small light that shines before the great light shines. It is the light of hope that says, the light is going to shine, don't worry. And this is the light of the Mashiach, because the Mashiach is that concept of hope, that in the end, although the forces of evil persist, the world will end well, as divine purpose determined. The fact that in this moment shines the light of the Mashiach, we also see it in the Midrash. Midrash is a book of rabbinic literature where it says the following: just like the morning, everyone waits for the morning, because at night they are inactive, and in order to do something, they wait for the morning. So too with King Mashiach, all Israel awaits him too. And not only is it all of Israel, but it is the whole world. So it says, just like morning comes after darkness, so Israel's salvation comes after sufferings and exiles. These are all symbolisms. But we have already said here in our channel so many times that the symbolisms are also spiritual realities. What can we do at this moment? This moment, Alot HaShahar, the rising of the morning Shahar, has become in the Bible a verb. Yes, we see, for example, in the book of Isaiah 26:9 that it says, Af ruchi, and even my spirit, bekirbi ashacharecha. Within me, it will look for you. But this will look for you is said with ashacharecha, a verb coming from the word shakar. That is, it will look for you in the morning. Okay? And it says the same thing, for example, in Hosea 5:15, where it says, Batsar lachme, in their suffering, yeshachru neni, they will go look for me in the mornings. This means, What better time to connect, meditate, pray, give thanks, gratitude, prayer, meditation, all these activities of connection with the divine that will renew us, will reconnect us, that are going to give us purpose again. They have to be done preferably at this time of day. For us, our morning prayer preferably has to begin more or less by this hour. And then at the peak of our prayer, which is, let's say, when we are already standing before God face to face, when we have already recited the Psalms, we have already said the Shema Israel, which is a declaration of faith. All this comes before, but at the moment of the first ray of light, that's where we say the prayer. All this that came before was a time for preparation. And it is said that whoever does all this preparation of praises, of psalms, of blessings, of declarations of faith, of meditation, of reflection, and at the moment of the first ray of light, he is praying. Then the sages say that a smile will not leave his mouth for the whole day. So what can we do? We will also universalize this time so that people from all nations, all traditions, can also follow it. And this is because this moment is a time of reflection, a time for soul searching, for meditating on what we want for the rest of our day, what we want for our life, a time, as we have said, to recite Psalms. Here the Psalms were written at this time. The power of everything in the Psalms is there. Moment for blessings, for gratitude. If you have a gratitude journal, this is the best time. Everything we can do that is spiritual work, do not hesitate to do it at this very moment. Start your day feeding your soul. We spoke in another video that I will leave you down here about the things you have to do in the morning, the first things you have to do in the morning. So if you like this video and you're going to adopt this habit of getting up at this time of day for your spiritual work, I would like you to tell it to me in the comments. Write to me, I will adopt this custom, and tell me what you choose to do at this moment. If it is meditation, if it is prayer, if it is writing, if it is reflecting, if it's preparing your day. What are you going to do? If there are several things, I would like you to tell me. And as I told you before, it is very important to me that you subscribe to our channel because that helps us a lot. You get to join this community where there will be advice and guidance towards personal and spiritual growth from the best sources. And I would also appreciate you to leave a like so that YouTube recommends this video to more people. Without further ado, see you in the next video, which, by the way, I'll leave it for you over here so you don't miss it too. Greetings to all. Shalom.